Hello everyone, and welcome back to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Last episode, we had actually finished with the main game and the side content of World War One. To give a brief summary of my feelings on the original game, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and I've said it before, in my opinion, is better than Unity. There are some things that Unity gets done very well. The multiplayer aspect, the customization options with being able to mix and match different types of jackets, gloves and all that stuff to make your own look and be able to change the color of them, and just the general customizability of your character. Even if you are still playing Arno, there are many different types of Arnos out there that you can play as and be teamed up with. I do think though with Unity they tried to go for quantity over quality, which kind of hampered the game. So they added in a bunch of stuff that kind of didn't need to be there. I'm going to turn the sound down. Such as like making it so then you had to do missions in order to get gear, like side missions, not main missions. You had to do side missions. I didn't like the characters in that, other than Arno. Like Elise is just a dumb idiot who just like, oh, I'm just going to run off because I'm hot-headed, even though I've never been shown to do that. I've just been shown to be passionate. I'm just going to go off and try and kill the people that killed my father, because apparently no one else wants to. And not avenge them by just dying. I don't like the assassins. They're all weird dicks that have, at the first opportunity, tried to get rid of Arno, even though he's the one that has done the most for their organization out of anyone there at that time. And pretty much just a weird overall sense of things not being well thought out. It was good, but it could have been much better. In my opinion, Syndicate is that. It's better, but it takes out most of what I liked from Unity, which I wanted to keep. The multiplayer aspect as one. The major customizability with it, with like the different parts of the outfit you can wear, like jackets and gloves. This you just get skins, and the skins give you different types of bonuses. So the thing is, if you want to look a certain way, if it doesn't give you the bonuses you want, it pretty much is a useless outfit. The side characters, while more interesting, aren't used as much. Like, it's weird. It's like they had the side characters in Unity appear a lot but be boring as fuck. And then in Syndicate, they made them interesting as hell, but made them show up not as much. So it's like they couldn't have seemed to get a balance of making good characters and giving them enough screen time for them to become developed, in a sense. Take, for example, the guy that gives you the gadgets. He gives you the grapple hook, the electric bombs, and then tells you to go... and I think there's one for developing the telephone lines or whatever. That's 3 missions with him. And then he never shows up again. He's not on the train. He doesn't help you try to sort things out by creating, like, tools for you just for a specific mission. He doesn't try to help you sort out with the Templars. He literally does those 3 or 2 things, and then he's gone. So it's like, oh, well, I'm so glad we met with this character. There's the fact that they took out the amount of weapons you could wield, because like in the previous games, you could choose axes, halberds, guns... long rifles, short swords, all these different varying weapons, and you get to this game and all you get are a dagger, a cane, and knuckles, which doesn't make sense because you've always had knuckles. So the fact that they've just reduced it to 3 is like, oh, okay. And then you've got like the hidden blades, which are dual blades. You know, it just seems to take out more and more of the games each successional game. But even with these problems, I still think Syndicate is better than Unity. Like, I liked Arno from Unity, but that's not saying much because I didn't like anyone else in Unity. This, I like most of the characters in this game, including Jacob and Evie. I do think they still do stupid things like the weird ass arguments over nothing, and the fact that they just keep talking about their father, but we never met with their father or saw scenes with them. Like, I would have liked to have seen a scene where we had a flashback to when they were kids being trained by their father, and him actually giving these speeches and seeing how they both accepted them. Like maybe Evie listening in awe and like, yes, tell me more. And Jacob's like, I don't care about that. I'm going to eat this apple. You know, something like that. But we didn't get that. It was just like, oh, you know, father did this, father did that, blah, blah, blah. And I don't want this to become like a long-ass rant, but essentially, Syndicate, I feel, is better than Unity, and it was the last best or good Assassin's Creed game, until they decided to go, oh, we're just going to make it open world now and nothing like Assassin's Creed. So, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I like it, but it also makes me sad, because it's the last game, essentially, that was part of a series that I actually really enjoyed, because I really liked the first game. I really liked the second game and all of Ezio's story. I think Ezio's storyline is the best out of the entire series. And then for some reason they said, even though Ezio's storyline sold the most, we're going to make the characters the most boring shit ever to get through each successional game. Assassin's Creed 3, main character's dumbass. He's annoying. I don't like him at all. I hate Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, much better main character and side characters, but the actual content of the game is actually kind of a slog to go through and kind of boring. Assassin's Creed, the character, is it not Liberation? The one with the woman, I can't remember her name. Oh, we'll just make it so then it's basically Assassin's Creed 3, but much smaller and not as long. You know, it's just, they kept trying to change things up without sticking to a set formula that worked. And now they're kind of stuck in a situation of just going, oh, we'll just make it like this. But, yeah. So, with the final thing, we're going to be going through the DLC, Jack the Ripper. And hopefully it'll be good, because I never really got far into it. I think I got like the first 5 or 10 minutes when I first got this. So, it's going to be an experience. Oh, delete save game. Are you sure you went to the race? Yes, I do. Right, so here we go, Jack the Ripper. Let's see how this one goes. Oh, we're playing Jacob, who seems to have not aged at all. He looks slightly different, but overall he looks kind of the same. Look at my spiky shoes. Oh, with the knee pad things, I mean. That's me.
For 20 years, after the assassins defeated the Templars in London, the city enjoyed a certain peace.
Yay.
Until the Autumn of Terror.
Boo.
In 1888, London is plunged into shadow and fear by a series of gruesome and unsolvable murders. The brothels of Whitechapel seem warm and safe by comparison to its streets, where prostitutes are being mutilated and left on grotesque display for the world to ogle. Jacob Fry hunts the elusive killer to bring an end to the terror of Jack the Ripper.
Oh boy.
Get a move on, Mr. Finch. This is the story of a lifetime.
Mr. Weaversbrook, I know you have more of the Ripper's letters.
I told you to stay away from me.
Stop publishing his letters. You've turned an unknown miscreant into a legend, and that's exactly what he wants.
Jacob! Thank God I found you. It's the Ripper. He's done it again.
Oh boy, this, yeah. Great start.
Katie! Oh, we can't. No, we can't have. And Lizzie. Not both. Not in one night.
Nellie, remember what I said. Now go.
How many more assassins must die before you see the truth?
Only one more, Jack.
I'm surprised that he knew to write that with him.
You should have believed, Jacob.
Oh,
Now, I will hunt you down.
hi. Oh, we're playing as the Ripper. What?
I know you're there, Jack. The Master of Terror's afraid
Follow
to show
Jacob.
himself, is he?
What? Whoa! Whoa! What the fuck?
I am your shadow, Jacob.
This is weird as hell. And apparently I can use eagle vision. This doesn't seem right. Like, are we related? Well, no, we wouldn't be related because we just did a thing. Betrayer. Find Jacob. Get out. Straight up.
I will gut every last one of them if that's the quickest way to you.
Fear. Jack's terror over London is based on his use of fear. One of Jack's fear tools is the brutal takedown. Performing a brutal takedown to its bitter end will frighten any opponent worth witnessing. Hold X in the same conditions as a classic assassination to start a brutal takedown. Follow the instructions to complete it. Oh god. This is going to be interesting. It's actually a cool feature. I wonder if they moved this on into the other ones, like in Odyssey and Origins, where they do brutal takedowns. Oh god.
Come on, you monster! Let's
Well
be
then.
done with this!
Run all you like, Jacob. I will catch you.
Betrayer. I guess we're getting after him.
I need only follow your scent. The scent of a wounded animal. There is nowhere you can hide from
He
me.
just vanished. The fear system. Enemies react to the Ripper's terror in 3 states: calm, anxious, or frightened. Fear actions make enemies' actions anxious, then frightened. You can affect an enemy's fear state with fear tools, the death scream, and spikes. Why are they screaming like they're monsters?
Stop! You want me, Jack? Come and kill me! This is
I'll
not
fight him
our
now.
way.
This is my creed.
Oh boy, good stun there. I don't know how to feel about being the bad guy, but
You cannot escape me.
you know, it's weird. Our areas are purple instead of green. I see you.
Scurry back to your hole, little mouse.
Oh boy, this is a cool intro to a DLC. So we're 20 years later than the main game, so everyone's 20 years older. Which means Jacob is in his 30s or
Going
40s.
somewhere, Jake.
Jack, you're sick.
It's kind of spoiling them because, like, the World War One DLC, we know he lives because he trains his granddaughter. But still.
Don't you see the irony, brother?
Jack,
Only you know who the Ripper is, but you can't tell a living soul because it would destroy you.
It got cut off there.
No, 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 no!
Jack, we can fix you.
Fix me! I am the solution.
Ow. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Jack the Ripper. Oh my god, I just had a thought. What if... I don't know, it's not a spoiler because I've never completed this, but what if Jack the Ripper is his son? Oh shit. I mean, it's been 20 years, so maybe.
Miss Fry?
Inspector Aberline. Why exactly have you had me escorted here?
My men and I have been hunting the Ripper around the clock for months now, and we've nothing to show for it. There's nothing I can tell the public.
What's the Ripper to do with me? My brother has had me summoned here from India. Can't this wait?
As far as I know, you may be the last assassin in London.
What do you mean? Where's Jacob?
I wish I knew. Your brother is nowhere to be found, even as an elusive shadow is committing the most hideous crimes.
Why
And you
is he
believe this is no
doing that?
coincidence?
The killer is selective and dispassionate and has left not a single trace of his passage. I've seen such a talent for assassination and avoiding detection only once before. When I worked with the two of you. And that is why your brother summoned you before he disappeared.
You think Jacob is dead?
I dare not believe it. But if he is, you may be the only person who can stop the Ripper now. Follow me.
Well then. Evie's old.
When are you gonna stop that monster?
I'll take you to the site where the Ripper first struck.
Okay.
Off its hands!
The journalists always seem to get the word first. We get there, they've trampled the evidence, and next day's headlines are dripping with blood.
That's
The
great.
few hundred yards between Flower and Dean Street have become so dangerous that even my best constables are afraid to patrol Whitechapel at night. Let's take a carriage, shall we? I'd rather not get egg on my face again today.
Okay.
I'll drive. What has become of this borough?
Whitechapel is a cesspool of crime, Miss Fry, where terror
There you
reigns
are.
supreme. Elsewhere, the rich
Easy
get
now.
richer, but here, the poor are living on the living, fighting to survive
Here now.
each day. Reporters share a view of Whitechapel as a lair of savages, monsters, and werewolves who hold honest citizens in a state of terror.
The Ripper's terror.
No, the werewolf's terror.
That's it. Whoa!
Curiosity shop.
We are not far from where Mary Ann Nichols was murdered. I knew her as Polly. That's what her friends called her. But the woman who died here is not the woman I met a few times at the Frying Pan pub.
Then who was she?
I was hoping you could tell me. Go see for yourself.
Okay.
This is where the Ripper committed his first murder. Was Miss Nichols' body identified?
Her husband hadn't seen her in 11 years. He barely glanced at the poor, mutilated woman before he had the gall to forgive her for what she'd done to him.
Wow.
The press reported widely that Miss Nichols' finger bore the mark of a ring. It was forcibly removed, and the same is true for his other victims.
Oh, well, there's the blood. Body's location. The victim's body was found here with a throat cut and multiple stab wounds to the abdomen. Old bloodstains persist. 3 months ago, multiple wounds. She placed her hand here, perhaps to rest from her injuries. She may have tossed aside her ring at this moment.
What did you discover?
Give me a moment.
Stopped here, she fell and crawled. Strange place for a bloodstain. Something covered in blood stuck to the tree, her ring perhaps. Okay, so that is over there. A ring that's only sworn assassins wear.
I found Miss Nichols' ring. An assassin's ring. She must have tossed it away during the struggle. A desperate act to protect the Brotherhood. You think they were targeted?
Yes. And the newspapers are accusing the police, me, of letting the first city of the world lapse into primeval savagery. I must take my leave, Miss Fry. I have other business in Whitechapel.
Good day, Inspector. Thank you for your discretion.
Okay, time to explore the 20-year-old place now. I don't have a face in this loading screen. I give this a 3. It's pretty good. Inspector Aberline needs your help. The Ripper Terror has inspired a wave of crime, from petty thievery to copycat killings. Whitechapel has become a place of brutal savagery. Bounty hunts, close the fight clubs, carriage of justice activities are now available. I get to close the fight clubs instead of fighting them? That's different.
I'll need to tackle Jack's influence over the gangs in London.
Okay, I kinda... Ooh. What the hell have I got equipped? Chakrams? Jaw tenderizer. An artisanal handcrafted piece of wood that's got nails in it. Right. The Devil's Handshakes. Why is that now a level 1 weapon? Or gauntlet? A velvet glove. Why does it go from level 1 to level 9? What? Firearms. Model 7 revolver. Self-loading. The Mars, the Fire Spitter, the Templar shootout, and the Insidious pistol. I can't even see that. It doesn't even have a barrel. Right, colours. We have more colours to choose from for some reason. Red, white, and blue. Beige and blue, beige, gold, forest green, taupe, green, wine, crimson. I want crimson, so I will get crimson. I like it. In that blue, steel grey. I'm just looking through the other ones. Okay. Oh man, we're gonna have to find the upgrades again. Ugh. Database. People, allies. Jacob Fry, 1847. Wrested London from the Templars under the command of Crawford Starrick in 1868. After continuing their struggle to help London's underclass for a few years, the twins separated. Jacob remained in the city to maintain control over the gangs and reinforce the London assassins, with new initiates and gathered from among the many orphans and child labourers. Does that mean that we might see O'Clara in this as an assassin? That'd be interesting. Evie chose to follow Henry Green and join the Indian assassins. Around 1870, Jacob is believed to have travelled to India with a few of his young initiates to train with his Indian brothers and sisters for a brief period. He brought back some of their fearsome battle tactics a year later. In 1888, about 18 years later, London was carrying in the shadow of Jack the Ripper. Jacob's disappearance at the end of October, soon after the double murder of Elizabeth Stride and Catherine Eddowes, and is presumed dead. Frederick Eberline. Why is it showing us his death at the 10th of December? Did it do that before? Oh well. Clockmaker, 1863. In 1868, albeit with some hesitation, he joined forces with Jacob and Evie Fry, two justice-seeking rogues. In 1873, he became an inspector and was transferred to Whitechapel, where he eventually led the investigation into the infamous Jack the Ripper murders. Although certainly beneficial at the time, Aberline spent the rest of his life questioning whether or not his early allegiance with the Friars was ultimately just another corruption of the justice system. Huh. Then you got Jack the Ripper, born unknown, the Jack the Ripper murderer, occurred East End of London in 1888. The murder spree took place over 125 years ago. Not least among them was the fact that the newspapers of the day gave a huge amount of coverage to the gruesome crimes. Secondly, the area in which the killings occurred was perceived to be a hotbed of vice and villainy, with a breeding ground of social unrest, squalor and disease. Whitechapel murders in the eyes of the wider Victorian society came to be seen as the personification of all the evils which the East End of London was associated. Blah blah blah. Of course, the fact that no one has ever identified nor conclusively solved the horrific crimes keeps the legend of the Jack the Ripper alive. Groups. Jack's gangs, the Rooks. What? He took over the Rooks? When Jacob and Evie defeated Starrick in 1868 and ended the Templar influence in the city, the Rooks proved to be one of the toughest gangs to overcome. Years later, when Jack went road, he had already gained the support of Southern London's most dangerous men. He took over the command of Jacob's Rooks. Together they managed to recruit or kill anyone who resisted Jack's power play. Jack trained them to be more effective against the London assassins. The Rooks of Jack the Ripper ran several operations for him, including running security for Lady O's brothel. What? Why is it telling me this? This seems like a spoiler. While others trafficked in opium and stolen antiquities from the colonies, there was no end to their cruel creativity. It was Jack's organizations now, and he would show the assassins so that the true fear lay with him as the Creed terror. Okay. Evie's fighting chakras, a kara, or fighting karas, is a steel iron bracelet of Indian tradition which can be used in a devastating melee weapon. But karas became popular with many Indians regarding belief. Evie adopted karas after being introduced to them by Indian brothers. Karas are most commonly used as brass knuckles in hand-to-hand combat. The Ripper's blade, presumably used to mutilate victims. In keeping with the Ripper's modus operandi, the knife was unmoderately sharp and not as sharp as a scalpel. Closer in size and form to a butcher's blade than any surgeon's tool. Okay. Oh boy, I'll read this later.
You had that!
What? Climb up. Oh boy. At least it's showing me all of the nomad points. That makes it so much easier. I like this red. It's very nice. I don't think we get to change outfits though. I think we're stuck with what we got. Which is a shame. But I can deal with it, I suppose. Go the other way. Yep. Got that one. Man, this place has seen better days. You know, it's kind of weird. This isn't. I didn't know how soon or how close the Jack the Ripper killings were to World War I. Like, they're almost insanely close. World War happened in 1916, and that's only what, like 40 years later? It's not that far. Also, what happened to my Minerva's outfit? Like, it's just gone. And that was really good, so we're now just wearing normal basic gear again. And that was an artifact, so I hope they didn't just put it back in its location, like every other done assassin seems to do, and think it's going to be fine being there. Yes. But with that, we shall stop here in the next episode. We shall be going around in 20-year-old Victorian London from previous time, and we'll probably go do our first side mission. So until then, thank you for watching. I'm excited to see where this goes. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Until then, bye.